So I wanted to give my thoughts on the FERPA piece, whether or not proctoring technology is FERPA compliant. I gave you an article originally that suddenly had a firewall on it and you had to have a password to access it. I think there were probably just too many links coming from my course to see it, and they decided to block it for you. So you got a different article that really less talked about FERPA and more talked about some of the concerns that people have about proctoring, one of which is FERPA. There's lots of other things that have been brought up about online proctoring, especially since the pandemic. There have been lots of concerns about the equity in proctoring. Proctoring AI in general has difficulty reading dark faces. Proctoring has been shown in some instances to the AI in general can't read your face with glasses on. So students take their glasses off to have it scan their face to prove that they're a human, put their glasses back on to read their test and get flagged as cheating because now they've got something in the room that's a device according to the computer. So there's all kinds of issues with proctoring solutions. I'm just going to go on the record to say I hate them. I think a better structured assessment is the way to go and leave proctoring alone unless an accrediting body says you have to use it. That said, is it against FERPA? Well, very recently, if you haven't been keeping up with the law, and you probably haven't, I don't know why you would, there was a ruling in Ohio that actually was about online proctoring. What the ruling said was specifically the proctoring that was being done at this particular Ohio university was in breach of the students' Fourth Amendment rights, their rights to privacy. It didn't actually even have anything to do with FERPA. It was more just Fourth Amendment, their God-given right. And in that regard, this particular instance was, instead of using traditional proctoring technology where it is a 1-to-1 ratio, one person looking at one student or one technology, AI, looking at one student. This was being done in a team type of meeting space like Zoom, or Teams, or WebEx. I'm not really sure what they were using. And so the professor was watching lots of students take their exam, meaning other students could see in other students' homes. So already there has been, since this article I shared with you was in 2017, since 2017, if not prior to that, a concern about privacy within these exams. And now students are seeing each other's homes, which is a real problem, as I don't think we need to get into that, especially for students who have very little. So what the judgment actually said was that in that particular instance, the student's right to privacy was invaded and that they were no longer allowed to use it. Now, if you read further into the actual legal documents, it recommends a particular proctoring solution that takes away this multiple usage. So at this time and moment, lots of universities are trying to figure out, just because it says it's okay to use, they actually mention Respondus. It's okay to use Respondus. Can we continue to use Respondus or HonorLock or Proctorio, or ProctorU? There's a bunch of different technologies out there, companies that can do this type of work for you. And what universities are trying to figure out is it safe to keep doing this legally? Even if we keep doing it and it's legal now, are we going to get our hands slapped later and get in on a lawsuit because they're going to take this further? I don't know the answer to that. I do know that I would highly recommend, if you are using proctoring in your institution, that if you're proctoring like this, it's fine. What I would advise you very much against doing is asking a student to pick up their computer, and I've got my fuzziness on, but actually scanning the room in such a case so that the proctor can see the entire space. That has definitely been flagged as a problem, and it's probably better just to leave that alone.